Welcome to the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living. It's wonderful to have you with us. Let's go ahead and start out with song. Enjoy this beautiful day and each other, and all is welcome here. Broken hearts and broken wings, bring it all, everything. Bring the song you fear to sing, all is welcome here. And even if you broke your vows 1,000 times, come anyhow. We're stepping into the power of now, all is welcome here. Too drunk on love to hesitate. Through the wings I cast my fate and the remnants of my fear. I took a deep breath and I leapt. Tears of gratitude I wept. I woke as if I'd never slept. I was welcome here. Your busy lives and your careers. Bring the pain you carried for years. All is welcome here. Freedom's not so far away. There's only one price you have to pay. That's to live our dreams till they fade away and let them go. Live our dreams and let them go.
Good morning. Thank you, band. You're fabulous. We love you. We're happy to be here today, as always, and welcome everyone, whether you're here in person or online. We are happy to share this space together and be together today. By the way, if you're online, please write in where you're watching us from so that we can know that as well. This center is a spiritual community where all are welcome. Our center teaches a philosophy for daily living based on spiritual principles and practices that are universal among religions. We honor all pathways by which people seek to connect with and know the divine, as we work on our individual consciousness to make the world a better place and manifest a world that works for everyone. I invite you to join me in stating our spiritual purpose. We are an open, welcoming community, celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journeys of spiritual discovery. Today, Reverend Cindy's message is entitled, "Who Moved My Cheese?" That's going to be fun. Our special music is Dallas Brown. Woo! We are happy to have him back and always blessed when you bring your music to us. Thank you. Teresa Martin is our prayer practitioner today. Jim Ferris. Oh. That's what I was. Teresa Martin did the meditation. Jim Ferris is the prayer practitioner today. And Hildreth Ferris will be holding high watch for us throughout the service, that the best and good is unfolding. In means of announcements, tomorrow we have Shanti's sound bath. She's doing a sound bath at 11:30 a.m. on Mondays, the second and fourth week of every month. So Shanti and her sound community, sometimes she'll bring different artists in to be with us also, and wonderful fountain of youth sound. I wanted to be sure and add that in there. Definitely, all ages are welcome. We've got next Sunday, Christiane Turner is going to be here speaking, and then after the service, she is going to do a workshop, Accept More Abundance. There will be a light lunch served with that, so please put that on your calendars. We have put that on our calendars, so we will be staying after for that. It's always nice when we have those to offer. And October 29th, Halloween, we are going to have a chili cook-off, Halloween costumes. You're welcome to wear your Halloween costume to church, and then the chili cook-off will be after the service. There's information on all these events on the table outside, on the concierge table. And so, and any other questions, please ask myself or anyone. We are happy to tell you. Also, there were some sunglasses that were left here, perhaps 2 to 3 weeks ago. They look like they're really nice ones, and so if anybody has been looking for them and didn't think to look here, we've got those also. For the latest information and what's going on in the church, log in online at www.spirituallyfree.org. For any newcomers that are here today, please raise your hand so that we can acknowledge you. We'd like to welcome. Thank you. Yes. There is information on that table. I think you've probably seen that. There is a Science of Mind magazine available for you also. And welcome. We are always happy to have new people here as well. So thank you. Our center was founded on and grounded in prayer. Prayer helps us deal with the day-to-day issues and create positive experiences regardless of our circumstances. Our professional prayer practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer and are available to pray for and with you. You can submit prayer requests online or in person, and during the week the prayer practitioners will be praying for you as well. And also after the service, in the room across the hall, they will be available to pray with you for whatever is on your heart that you're thinking about. Prayer practitioners can be identified by the purple stoles that they wear over their shoulders. Now, I invite you to settle in and allow Jim's reading and centering music to take you to that sacred space within, and then he will lead us in prayer.
Good to see you. Today's reading is adapted from 365 Science of Mind from Ernest Holmes. It's titled Abundant Living. When we are in union with Divine Source, there should come a feeling of abundance in everything we do. An abundance of friendship, whether large or small, self-expression, and the beauty all around. We sense the flow into our consciousness of the divine intelligence, a feeling that the imagination of the whole universe is centered in us and flowing through us. Attuning our consciousness to Spirit's abundance, automatically we find upliftment in everything we do, a broader and deeper experience of life, and a higher realization of the all-good flowing through everything and everyone. So today, I expect a more abundant life. I am keeping my thoughts and expectations open to new experiences and happier events. Giving out more love, I expect greater love in return. Sharing with others the good things I have, I expect all life to share with me the good it possesses. Seeing beauty everywhere, I expect revelation of still more beauty. And seeing joy in everything, I expect more laughter. More deeply sensing the divine tranquility in which all things exist, I expect a deeper understanding of peace and security. And through it all, I feel that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence, always seeking to express through me.
I am the place where God shows up, just as I am is good enough. I shine my light, I shine my light. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up, just as I am is good enough. I shine my light, I shine my light. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up, where God shows up.
Going within with my breath, I feel that sacred space. As I breathe in, it flows into every cell of my body, uplifts every thought to the wholeness, the beauty, and deep gratitude for all the good that not only comes my way, but fills all of creation. A divine pattern in the seasons, the elements, the beauty of our thoughts and emotions and relationships. Those times of coming together and feeling our oneness in community, which allows us to go within and recognize that divine power, that infinite space, that expansive knowing of divine intelligence, that divine mind that lives and breathes us and all creation. In this space of wholeness, I feel I am a part of all of it. For it is all one, sourced from the divine, perfect, whole, complete. I'm so grateful for this service today. Together in oneness, together in wholeness. We know the highest and best is unfolding as we pray together and love one another in community. I bless this service and invite all of you to say with me, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Jim. Oh, for us to fully realize the abundance that's all around us, it's good for us to realize all the good, all the value, all the God within us. This song speaks to this. I want to say one of the lines that Leslie Monroe wrote. It says, "I playfully dance along in the simple bliss of who I am." Let's sing. And we can dance a little bit in our hearts.
I am alive, I see with these eyes, feel with this heart a grand existence. I am me as nothing and all, the great and the small as one uniquely. And when I fly, I fly on the wings of love. Oh, I love me, the dark and the light, the fall and the flight, the lightning and thunder. I am free, I playfully dance along in the simple bliss of who I am. And when I fly, I fly on the wings of love. I am alive, I see with these eyes, feel with this heart a grand existence. I am me as nothing and all, the great and the small as one uniquely. And when I fly on the wings of love.
Such a good song. Leslie Monroe. Wow. My pleasure as always to introduce our special music today. We know him and we love him. Say this after me, DallasBrownFluteMedicine.com. DallasBrownFluteMedicine.com. There is a plethora of great recordings. It will put you into the presence with ease. Beautiful flute music. Let's welcome back with warmth and a round of applause, Dallas Brown.
Thank you, Dallas. Good morning, everybody. So I need to acknowledge that yesterday, this room was full. We had a celebration of life for our own practitioner emeritus, Katie Hernandez. So that's why you're seeing the flowers and her photograph, and we need to keep this light on for her. This room was filled and overflowing with love. This room was filled and overflowing with people that had very different belief systems and yet came together to honor this beautiful soul that we call Katie. So I just want to give a shout out to Katie for bringing such a diverse group of people together yesterday. We had a fantastic time. And it didn't matter where you came from with a religious background. We were all here to love on this woman that affected us, that inspired us, that's in our hearts forever. So, here we are in October, and our theme is abundant supply. Last week, I talked about faith. Of course, I had a clever title. It was WTF, right? Where's the faith? And we talked about having faith in faith, even if it's just the size of a mustard seed. Today, my title, yes, Who Moved My Cheese? Okay, let me find out from you. How many people in this room have read that book? Oh, okay, a spattering of you. Okay, it's from the 1990s, and it was a business book. And it's one of those books that really taught me some valuable lessons throughout my career. And when I was visioning for a title, that's what came through. So, for those of you that haven't heard of this book, it's a brief tale of two mice and two humans who live in a maze and are one day faced with change. Someone moves their cheese. Reactions vary from quick adjustment to waiting for the situation to change by itself to suit their needs. This story is about adjusting attitudes towards life that is always changing. The message in this book is that life won't always give you what you want when you want it. Sometimes things change unexpectedly, but good things will come again if we adapt and overcome our fears. So, when I sit and do my visioning, I don't always know exactly why it's that title when it's this particular theme. But you know what? I trust it now. Whatever comes through, that's what I go with. So in this little book, the two mice sniff and scurry, and the two humans, him and haw, they left an impression on me as a young manager in the graphic arts industry many decades ago. So, when it comes to abundant supply, I've had many experiences of my cheese moving. In other words, I thought I knew where the next check was coming. I thought I knew where the next promotion was coming. I thought I knew, and guess what? It changed on me in a dime, just like life can happen. When I think about myself in my 30s, being in the corporate world, growing up in the corporate world, no one ever trained me and said, you're going to be a manager and these are the skills you need to know. However, what I realized, and now, of course, we can always see things as we look back, right? I had some natural abilities and capabilities that served me so well in those years. But I wanted to touch on some of these lessons from this little book. The first one is overthinking causes paralysis. Amen to that, right? Or, we want to just do it, that old Nike adage, just do it. Because Sniff and Scurry, they were good at just getting out there. Well, if that cheese wasn't there, they were out there looking around. But him and Ha, sometimes they were back there saying, well, where did it go? There was a pile of cheese here, and now it's gone. So I've seen this repeatedly in my life, and this is what I can tell you. When I have clients come in for a practitioner session, and they tell me that something changed in their lives, they come with this list. It can be a long list of pros and cons. And they're actually coming to me and wanting to say, what do I do? I'm like, no, you know what you need to do. I can't tell you what to do for your life. So, and I'm not just speaking professionally. I'm speaking of on our spiritual journey, right? This is what I ask the people I work with. What would you do if you had no fear? what would you do? You'd probably handle it a whole lot differently than if you keep looking at that list of pros and cons, right? So, when things change in my life, I've learned to be adaptable. And instead of belly aching about what was, move on to what's next. One such opportunity for me was I came back from Europe, 21 years old, and I needed to get to work. And I went back to my old job because that's what I knew, and I had it was an open door if I ever needed a job. So I went there, and I brought my film to a photo lab, like, I don't know, 40 rolls of film. And I brought it and I dumped it on the counter, and the gentleman at the counter, he just looked at me and he said, "You need to work here." I'm like, "I do?" So he gave me an application, and I went back to the stationery store. That's where I worked. It was called Tam Stationers. And I didn't fill in that application because, you know what, I was kind of comfortable knowing what I knew, fitting in where I was before. And a photo lab job, yes, I was great at photography and I took some classes, but I didn't see myself as this professional photographer. When I didn't bring the application back, he came to Tam's and said, "I'm going to stand here until you fill this out." I said, okay, I got you. So that was a leap of faith. Of course, I had a little help from the universe. In the name of Victor, he was the one that came to get me. So the next lesson from this book is nothing lasts forever. So be conscious and aware of approaching changes. Further along in my career in the photographic industry, I worked at this great place where I got to retouch magazine covers. I retouched Hillary Clinton, Dorothy Hamill, all kinds of people, right? And it was a great job. And yet something within me was saying, it's time to move on. The people at that particular workplace, they said, "You're crazy leaving this job." And I said, maybe so. So I went back into, that was more graphic arts, and I went back to the photographic industry. So I went back there, and again, I became a manager. This is back when digital photography had just begun. So, first of all, who'd ever thought that we wouldn't have any more Kodak moments? Remember Kodak, how big they were? That was my career. I worked at one of the biggest photography labs in Hollywood. Our clientele were professional photographers that shot for Vogue magazine, all the high-end models, all the stars, all the product photographers that shot all the newest cars and products, all the architectural photographers. These are the people that brought film to the lab that I worked. And here comes digital. Now, those folks that I worked for at the photo lab, they knew that nothing lasts forever. And even though that we were at the height of our game, we were the top, everyone worldwide knew the name of this lab and the owners and what we did there. They recognized that something was coming down. And they bought one computer, a Macintosh. They bought Photoshop 1.0, or maybe it was just Photoshop, the very first version. And they bought a printer, a digital printer. And they said, "Cindy, we know that you know how to retouch by hand. So after your shift, do you want to play with this and figure it out?" And I'm like, Yes. Yes, please. So here I was at a photo lab where the job before said, why are you going backwards? And yet here I am taking a big step forward because I had faith. I took a chance, and I worked with people that had this awareness that things change, even Kodak. So, I want to say I remember early days of that particular job. People would come in. This is beyond, okay, so this really dates myself. You remember floppy disks, right? So this is the next generation of floppy disks, and they were called SideQuests, and they were either 44 megabytes or 88 megabytes, and it was a disk about so big. And the photographer would come in and hand it to me, and I remember the first few times, I thought, oh, I hope I put it in right. And I hope the print's right. But you know what? I was fearless. You know, I knew I was in my element. This was exciting. This was so new. In fact, the lab that I worked at, we had the first Kodak photo scanner. Photo CD is what it was called. And they used to bring in buses of Japanese tourists to tour our facility. So again, I found myself on the cutting edge just because I was with people that knew that nothing lasts forever. That's life. There's always changes that occur. So, the next lesson from this little book is you can always find new cheese the moment you take a chance. Boy, have I learned that in my life. You know, sometimes we stay around some pretty stale cheese, don't we? I think back of my early days in relationships when I knew it wasn't going well, but I wasn't going to leave because, you know, I made a commitment and it didn't matter that it was getting very stale and smelly there. So I found new cheese at every turn that I took. And I found myself thriving and learning and enjoying everything that I did. In fact, I remember a conversation with one of the professional photographers. His name is Greg Gorman, and he was at the top of his game. He was a Hollywood photographer, elite. And I said to Greg one day, he came into the lab, and I said, Greg, don't you want to know about digital photography? Don't you want to know how to scan your images and retouch them? And he said, oh, no. No. That's just a flash in the pan, Cindy. There's no way that's going to continue. And I said, okay. Years later, I was at a trade show. It was called Macworld in San Francisco. And Greg was in Los Angeles. And I'm walking down the aisleway, and I see Greg coming right at me. But he's not just like walking. He's like practically running to me. And he says, Cindy, I get it. You were right. I didn't need to hear that. But it was, you know, he just wasn't ready to accept, to embrace the change. I have been there many times in my life. But yet again, my life has changed so much. All the moves I made when I was a young person, all the different jobs that I had as a young person, all the different places that I've lived. Since I've gone through change after change, it's allowed me to build this muscle, to accept change, to even expect change, and to do it with an attitude of gratitude. That's the other key component of this book. When things change, what kind of attitude do we have about it? Are you pissed that Someone move that cheese? Rick's like, yes. I get it. And how about if we really believe the universe is always for us? The universe is always for us, and if we bring gratitude and excitement to when things change, abundant supply is always available to us. So, I want to talk about MONEY for a moment. Since our theme is abundant supply this month, I can't speak about abundant supply without talking about money. See, at the start of COVID-19, when everything shut down, I was still in ministerial school and I had my own business. My own business could not continue because I couldn't work with people. So in that instant, I was making zero. I did do some things online that it wasn't zero, but it was pretty close to zero. And I was going through all these things in my head, like, how am I going to finish ministerial school? Well, I'm going to use my credit card, and I'm going to make sure that my classes get done, and I'm going to do this. I trusted. One day, I had a conversation with my brother, and he said, "Did you know there's a government program for self-employed people for COVID-19 money?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that." And he encouraged me. He said, "It's easy paperwork. Just, go to this website, fill it in, and see what happens. You have nothing to lose." So I did that. And I can't even tell you how fast it manifested. A couple weeks later, I logged into my bank account, and there was an extra $17,500 in my account, which paid every cent of my credit card bills from ministerial school. You never know where abundant supply is coming from, you guys. It's amazing. See, I didn't see it coming. All I wanted to do at first was think, well, who moved my cheese? COVID-19 moved my cheese. But it ended up being the hugest blessing. I had no idea that I could come out of this situation, this time in our lives, debt-free. Which sets me up for being able to move here and be here with you and buy a home here and all these things. It's amazing if you really believe and trust. The universe is for us. So, we can't even always recognize how big answered prayer can be because it's not anything that we had in our consciousness, right? I wouldn't have thought that that could happen for me, and yet it did. So I want to sum up this way. Last week we talked about faith. Having faith in faith, even if it's just the size of a mustard seed. And last week I talked about that when that Chinese woman went to look for a home that had only blessings and no grief, no sorrows in the home, that she ended up serving those people in the mansion because she thought that they were blessed because they lived in this big place. And she found her way because she got to serve these people, and her sorrows drifted away, even though she had lost her son. And this week, we learned to stop overthinking. Just stop it. Sometimes you have to take a big step. You have to take a leap of faith. We also learned today that nothing lasts forever, and you have to keep your eyes open for what's next. Hey, when you're out there and you hear this amazing new business idea or this new investment, and it really sparks something in your heart, pay attention to those things. And lastly, we have to take chances. We have to take chances. After all, what would you do if you had no fear? Let's pray. Take a nice deep breath with me. And I always start my prayers with gratitude. I set the table with gratitude, grateful for this beautiful fall day, grateful for those colors on those trees and the leaves that are letting go and dropping to the ground. How grateful I am to have seen this room filled and overflowing with people that loved our dear Katie. How grateful I am to have this soul sister that loved this community for decades bring her family and her friends to this center to fill this room with love. How grateful I am for Ernest Holmes and all those ancestors that he studied that allowed him to write such a book as Science of Mind. How profound it is and how many lives it has changed in so many ways. And how grateful I am to be standing here in this field of love, in this field of gratitude, knowing that there is but one power, one life. It doesn't matter whether you call it Mother, Father, God, Goddess, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, Hashem, Yeshua, the Way, Divine Mind, Universe, Light, Love, Energy. So many names and so many faces, and yet only one. This oneness is everywhere. It's in everything. It's in those leaves that are dropping. It's in the twigs and branches and roots. It's in those rays of sunshine. It's in these beautiful musical notes. It's in the hum of the air conditioning and the silence in between. It's in all the colors. It's in those beautiful mountains that we get to view daily. And knowing that this oneness, I'm calling it God, God, and only God in this instant, that those particles of God are everywhere and in everyone and everything. I know that I am the space and place that God resides. Those particles of God are in me, in everything I think, every step I take, every word I speak. And I know the same truth for all the beloveds in this room and streaming, whether they're watching it now or later, that you and I and we are the outpicturing of the one, the way that God gets to experience itself through our hands, through our lives, through our joys, through our grief, through every situation, circumstance, through every moment of every day. We are always unified. We can never be disconnected. even with the society that likes to make a big deal of duality, we know the truth is oneness. So with this truth, I claim and know peace for the Middle East, peace for Israel, peace for all those places on this planet that are at unrest, the Ukraine, all those places that know something other than peace at this moment. I hold it closely, tightly, dearly, knowing that they too are one with the one, all connected. And I claim and know for my beloveds in this room that are going through a time of grief, of sorrow, for those changes that always come our way. The grief and sorrow of having someone's life change in front of their eyes. I got you. We have you. And for my beloveds in this room that are dealing with addiction, I claim and know that there's nothing stronger than God. Nothing stronger than love. Nothing stronger than oneness. And by knowing that to your core, that those addictive behaviors just release you, drop away, let you go. And for those of us that have challenges in our body temple where we're not feeling 100% energetic, I claim and know that those cells and atoms that we were born with are here for us now, right here in this moment. And I want to give you a moment to say your name and the name of any beloveds that have asked you for prayer or are needing prayer. Go ahead and say it out loud. Just keep those names coming as we have created this beautiful field of prayer. Started with our gratitude. And ends with our gratitude. Grateful for knowing that before we even started praying, the universe, that oneness said, yes, my beloved, your prayer is my prayer too. Yes, my beloved, you've been heard. The universe is for us. The universe always says yes, this and so much more. So for this, I wrap this prayer up by saying how grateful I am to let go of these seeds that we have planted in this fertile soil and given the proper nutrients by being here in community, by being in prayer, by being in meditation, by practicing our practices together. We can let go on that human realm and just let God do what God does. Answers yes, loves us wholly and completely. And if any of this prayer resonated for you, I invite you to anchor it with me by saying, and so it is, Amen, Ashe.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
being our month of abundant supply, we'll be rolling out a program at the end of the month where we can make commitments. Thank you, ushers, for coming forward. They're going to be going throughout the room. We're going to make a commitment so that our community can know a budget for what's coming next year, because I think you all know now that I'm not a sleepy minister. We like to do things around here. We like to have amazing musicians, guest musicians, amazing speakers, wonderful events. We love to support our beloveds that are in the chairs, and we want to go out in the world and do outreach as well. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving, because without you, we wouldn't be here. Yes. Thank you. Oh, we've got more over here, Gail. There's money floating into the basket. So as we bless all this abundance that came through, I invite you to outstretch your heart through your hands and repeat after me. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
We are so blessed.
We are so blessed.
We know
We know
that every dollar
that every dollar
that I release
that I release
comes back
comes back
multiplied abundantly.
multiplied abundantly.
We are so
We
blessed.
are so blessed.
And so it is. Thank you.
All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past is gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me.
Let's hear some more from Dallas Brown. I want to let you know he's got a couple CDs out there. Take advantage of that. His latest, Chakra Doctors, is just outstanding. Dallas Brown. So much fun to play with him. You know, Reverend Cindy, I realized that book, Who Moved My Cheese, is asking the wrong question, isn't it? As soon as you say who, you want to point your finger at someone or something, and then it puts yourself in that mode of being victimized by the cheese mover. And it's not helpful. Yeah, so the fact is, cheese is always moving. Yes. And it's good for us to deal with that. I wrote a song years ago. It says, life is always changing, and I know change will do me good. I look at nature around us, always blooming, always changing, and it's always good. So change has to be good. Anyway, thank you. We are rich. We are so blessed. Remember, there are practitioners available after the service, just right across the hall. Take advantage of that. Let's stand, everyone. Let's sing our closing song. I'm going to shift the energy here for sure.